There we go. Now we're recording. Yay. Okay, cool. Okay. So we're going to just kind of look at some different things through Windows 10. Most of it's going to be actually spent in Windows itself, but just some kind of benefits of Windows 10. If you don't have it, does anyone not have Windows 10 or not know? Do you think you're on 7 still or Windows 8? Or? We took the 8 and then we'll go. Haven't done the upgrade yet. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, so we can still do upgrades. Whether it's free or not kind of determines if your computer was ripped. I could look really quickly and see if it's a free upgrade for you or not. If not, it's like for version, I think it's like $150 license and then the labor associated with that. So, yeah. So Windows 10 is known for being very stable now. It's more friendly than like Windows 8 and Windows 7 were. There's less bugs, which hopefully we won't encounter any, but occasionally we run into little things they're still working on fixing, but it is definitely better than Windows Vista and Windows 8, if you came from those. Supposedly, this is Microsoft's last operating system that they're going to release, so what that means is they don't have any intentions of releasing any other, they're going to do variants of Windows 10, like for specific cases, but they're not going to do supposedly any like big desktop or laptop operating systems anymore. They're moving to more of like a cloud-based internet platform type thing, but they're not there yet, and the infrastructure's not there yet either. So if you have Windows 10, you're good to go. Most people who did the upgrade saw like an extended battery life on any laptops or mobile devices that they had, which is awesome. And then one of like my favorite features, I forgot to fix that, is you can search anywhere on the computer and it'll search within files. So I'm going to show you how to do all that. And it just makes it easier when you're looking for something. And then, I don't know why that's so small, but it is a modern interface, so it's really clean and sleek looking, which is awesome. A simplified start menu, and then there's some desktop features and tablet features and stuff like that. Does anyone have a tablet, or are most people on either desktop or laptop? Tablets, a couple? Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to get to the fun stuff in Windows 10, and we'll go from there. Let me jump over here. Cool. All right. So here's Windows 10. I don't have a whole lot installed because I wanted to kind of keep it minimalistic, kind of what you would get when you first get a computer. So essentially you have the big screen obviously here, it's just called the desktop. And then across here, you have your taskbar, which is kind of where you can start or you can pull up anything that's running. And then over here, you're just going to have your start button. And then on this side over here, there's a little tiny notification thing. Is that a little fuzzy for you guys? Yeah, a little bit. All right, let me see if I can. Is that any better? No, that's worse. Yeah, no, we can't really shake that or anything, so we're just going to have to live with it, I guess. All right. But this is called the Charms bar, and that's different notifications and different settings and stuff, which we'll look into a little bit. So any questions about like the main screen there? All good there. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we're going to look at kind of the start button first. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do in here that probably I would say most of you are not doing, and even I don't do a lot of it just because it's not necessary, but there's different things that you might need or eventually want to find and stuff like that. So to get to the screen again, you're just going to click on here, the little button in the corner over there, bottom left, and the start button. And then that's going to bring you with this screen up here. Now, over on this side, you're going to see all of the programs that you have installed. So that's going to be literally everything on the computer. And then over here is going to be or basically tiles is what they call them. So those tiles can be customized and kind of tweaked a little bit. Oh, at any point, if you have questions, just let me know. Just raise your hand and we'll stop you. So these tiles are actually pretty cool. They're live tiles. And so what that means is if you have the weather one open, it's going to pull up the weather for right now and right here based upon the location of your computer. So it does that a couple different ways. Your computer could have GPS in it, like your cell phone does or your little Garmin in your car, or it could be pulling it based upon where the Wi-Fi network is. So that's probably what yours is doing. It probably decided you're in Springboro based upon the Wi-Fi, because it knows that this Dorothy Lane specifically is in Springboro. And so they can figure that. And then these tiles are really easy to manipulate. So if there's stuff on there that you don't want or you don't need, you can can actually hide it really easily. So what you got to do is you just kind of drag it, and then then it kind of highlights it like this. So again, we're just kind of clicking, holding, and then you can just pull it around. So you can really put it wherever you want. You can arrange these. If you have like all of your work stuff, you can put all your work stuff in one section. You could group all of your games in one section. You could group your, I don't know, your website. You can make bookmarks and put the website in one section. So that's kind of cool that you're able to group them. So let me pull up here. So do you see where it says, well, it's probably hard to read, but right there it says Life at a Glance. And so what that means is it's kind of like their stat, like the stuff that they kind of put there, like the weather, there's a news thing that could be there. There's a bunch of different, you could put like sports games or scores in that little section there. You could do whatever you want, but and then this tile right here, it's going to change, so it's a live tile. Now, if you have a news, let's pull up some news here. No, I think I installed it last time. Actually, we'll come back to that because I want to show you how to do something anyway. So, over here. So, if you had like a news app, it will list recent events and that type of thing on there. If you have stocks, is an important one for a lot of people, so you can list those in there too. And I'll show you how to get more apps and stuff in there. Now, if you want to remove something from here, like let's say I don't need the mail, you can right-click on it and then hit Unpin from Start. So that's how you're going to remove anything from there. So we'll just unpin that. We don't want that. And then let's say we want to add something back in there. So let's add our mail back in there. What you can do is you really have two options. You can go over here and you can just find it from this list. So we're going to scroll down to mail right there. Then we would right click on it and then we would hit pin to start. And then you're going to notice it's just going to appear right here. And then we can drag it wherever we want. And let's say we want to make that one a little bit bigger. We can do that by right clicking on it again. And then you're going to see there's a little option that says resize. And from there you have it depends on the actual tile itself, how big and small it can go. But a lot of them can go like really small, just like a letter, like M for mail. Or it can go really big, and it might even list some of your mail messages. Which is kind of cool, because then it will give you a, life at a glance view of your mail if you're using the mail app in there. So that's pretty cool. And then obviously I got some solitaire games, some other little stuff over here. Just so you can put anything in there though, it doesn't matter. So any questions on kind of the start menu area? I'll go there. Okay, cool, awesome. Let's look at this is like my favorite feature of Windows 10 is the searching feature. Because it makes it really easy to find anything on the computer. Whether it be a program, like an application, or a document, or pictures, or anything. It's awesome. So what you can do is you have two ways to get to it. You can poke the start button here, and then notice how this turns white right here. And then you could actually speak to your computer, which I don't know how well it'll work in here because it's really echoey, but you could say, so you have to hit the little microphone, and then, what's the weather? No, I'm not on the internet. Yeah, I didn't connect myself to the Wi-Fi, so it probably won't work. So you do have to be online for this feature to work. Oh, it did detect it. Woo-hoo.
It's 55 and sunny.
Well, there we go. It's 55 and sunny. We can't go wrong. Yeah, so there's a little tiny microphone symbol right here in the corner. Oh, to get to that, yeah. So what you'll do is you will click on the start button here, so you can click on that and then type or say whatever you want, or you can actually just click. Let me get out of that screen. Oh, I want to go. There we go. You can actually just click on this Ask Me Anything right here, and you could type weather, or you could type in a document name. So I have this little test document on my desktop here. So you could type in test there, and then it's going to pull that up. And notice how it says test.txt right there. So that will pull up those. So it'll search for any files on your computer.
Is that Cortana?
That is Cortana, yes.
That is Cortana.
Yes, yeah, which we're going to go a little more into, yep. So that's a really good way to find, like, if you have a file for your passwords, you can just type in passwords and it'll pull it up on there. Or if you have a presentation that you're doing, or a document, or you even wanted to get to a website, you could even type in, you just type in google.com or whatever website you want to, and then it'll automatically open up your web browser and pull that up. So it's just a little shortcut to get to pretty much anything on your computer. And the other cool thing is, like, if you want to look at your printers, for example, you could just go over here and just start typing printers. Oop, if I could spell it right. Printers. There we go. So then it'll pull up your printer settings on the side over there. So then you can click on that, and there's all of our printers. So it's an easy way to get to anything on your computer. And then, yeah. Any questions on kind of the universal search kind of thing? It's pretty neat, though. I suggest using it if you're not using it actively. Give it a try. Just try searching for something that you want. You'll most likely be able to find it that way. And the only reason why it wouldn't be working is if, number one, your computer's brand new and it hasn't searched everything because it has to make like an index. Or number two, if it's re-indexing, which sometimes it will do if it determines that your index isn't right. So it might do that, but otherwise it'll pull up automatically with everything. Question? Okay, I thought I saw a hand going up. All right, cool. So then this is Cortana. So Cortana is basically the same thing as like Siri on your iPhone or Google or OK Google on an Android phone. So it's the equivalent of saying, poke in your phone and what's the weather? Yeah. So that's the same feature type thing. It's just Microsoft's version. So same concept. You can ask it anything. I mean, you can ask it to schedule something in your calendar for you. It's actually really cool. You can do a lot of stuff.
What's the name of it again?
Cortana. Yes. And just a little fun fact that the robot Cortana in the computer, it actually comes from a video game that Microsoft released like, 10, 15 years ago. So it's a little trivia there.
It works, I was going to say it works great with Google.
Yeah.
If you're on the road and stuff, so the GPS is more accurate probably than GPS.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can pull up maps and everything in there. It's really nice. It's really cool. So, yeah, a lot of people use it. It's kind of weird if you're in public and you're using your computer, because then you're like talking to it. But if you're at your home, it makes sense. So, otherwise, you see people walking around like, "What's the weather today?" It's just weird, but whatever. I don't know. I'll just kind of point and laugh. So, so over here on this side, so we kind of got the left side of the screen. So now we're going to look at the right side over here. There is the charms bar, like I said. So that's this whole screen that comes up, or the action center. Charms bar, action center, notification center. It's all kind of interchangeable there. And what this is going to have, it's going to have a shortcut to all of the settings and just kind of some frequently used like your Wi-Fi stuff, or if you want to switch from a tablet mode to your desktop and stuff like that. It's also going to have different notifications of your security, stuff like that. So across here, there might be a bunch of stuff listed in there. If you want to get rid of that because it's not really important, you can do that. So right at the very top, way in the corner, there's a little fuzzy button that says Clear All, and you're just going to notice it's going to kind of get rid of everything in there. So now it's just a little bit cleaner. It's not like you have to do that. It doesn't hurt the computer, but I just didn't want to look at all that junk, so I didn't want it there. So then over here, you're going to see by default, there's like either 4 or 5 options. These depend on your computer. So if your computer's a laptop, it's going to have different settings than a desktop versus a tablet. So obviously I'm on a laptop, so we'll kind of work with those settings for now. So across here, you're going to see tablet mode. And what that does is it makes a big change on the computer. So if you have a touch screen, this is really, really useful. So if you switch to tablet mode here, you're going to notice it's going to kind of change the way everything looks. And so now all of my programs are going to be listed on this screen right here. You can still manipulate them the same way as if they were on the start bar. So if you want to move them around, you can just kind of poke and hold. You can right-click on them to resize and move everything there. Now, because this isn't a touchscreen, it may not be the most useful thing. So it is an option. It is there. And there are a lot of like all-in-one computers or laptops that are coming with touchscreens. And it's not as foreign to kind of reach up and like poke your screen now, because everyone does it on their phones for the most part. So, is there anyone who does not have a smartphone? I know at least one person. That's my grandma, by the way, in the corner. So, yes, my wonderful grandma. Glad to have her today. So if you're not familiar with a touch type of interface, that might not be useful to you, but it might, you never know. So, and you can play with it too, so it's not going to hurt. So I'm going to go back to the normal desktop mode here. Oop, didn't want that to happen. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah. So you're always going to use this little button here. and then you have tablet mode right there you can click on, or you can click over here again on the notification center or charm bar, and then click off of tablet mode, and then it will kind of bounce you between it. Then the next option over here, and like I said, this will kind of vary depending on what you have, if it, what type of form factor you have. But then you have the networks button here, which this will come up with all of the different wireless networks that are available in your area, which is always useful if you're at Within Market or at Starbucks or whatever, or you go to a library, which is really good to do. So that will give you those options. If it's a work laptop, it might give you the option to connect to like your VPN to go into the work computer, at the business or whatever. So kind of depending on how they have it configured. And then, you can also flip it into airplane mode, which airplane mode is obviously good for when you're on a plane. So if you want to watch a movie or something on a laptop, you can do that. You just have to flip your thingy into airplane mode, and that way it's not broadcasting on takeoff or landing. So that's always good. And then the next one is, on my computer, it says Note. So Note basically pulls up Microsoft OneNote, which comes free with every computer. So this might be a good place to just kind of keep any, in theory, you're taking notes for this class in here, but it looks like paper. If you have a tablet, you can actually write on your screen with either a finger or a stylus, or like a pencil type device. And then within, you can title it, so Windows 10 class. And then you can click over here, and we can just start kind of typing different notes here and there. And then it'll actually, like I said, if you draw on your computer, it'll allow you to kind of move your drawings around and kind of rearrange everything. It's actually really cool. Yeah. So. If you haven't used OneNote, don't be afraid. You can't hurt it. So go and try it. And it's free, so can't go wrong there. And the other thing over here, you have a button to get to your all settings screen, which is really useful if something gets kind of messed up. So we'll click on that, and it's going to pull up the big settings window here. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Awesome. So this is the Windows settings screen. There's a lot of different things in here, which we're going to explore a couple of them in a little bit. So like I said, to get to the settings, you just click on the bar here and then go to all settings. Now there's a little button right here that says expand. So if you were to click on that, you're going to get a bunch of different options here. One of them says airplane mode, so it's a little shortcut to that. There's a location setting, so I could make my laptop or desktop not know where I am, which might be useful. Okay, it might be. Yeah, so click back on there, and then, okay, yours is already expanded, so you can collapse or expand it. Yep. And so if it already has everything there, it might already be expanded. That was what you had going on there. So, and then you could do quiet hours, which essentially tells your computer not to make any sound at certain times of the day, which might be useful. If you leave your computer on all the time and it might be in like a bedroom or like a guest room, you could tell it not to make noise after 8 o'clock or whatever and start making noise again, if you leave the computer on. That's an option. And then the VPN would be like if you were in for work, which they would do that for you. Battery saver mode, which I'm not going to do on mine because it would booger stuff up a little bit, but it basically puts your computer kind of in like a low power mode. But for the presentation, I can't do that. So, and then this one basically says project. So right now it's projecting to a projector, so nothing crazy there. And then connect will allow you to connect different devices to your computer. So it might be anything from a TV if you want to broadcast your pictures on a TV, or it could be printers, anything. And there's actually a kind of a protocol in the background that runs that should automatically connect or detect anything on your network, which is really cool. So, any kind of questions on that side of the screen there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When you bring all those things up that are possibly your emails and different action items, and you put them back, it doesn't delete them anyway, does it?
No, it doesn't delete them. Even if you hit the clear button at the top, it's not going to delete those messages or anything. It's just going to get rid of the notification. So think of it kind of as like, you have an iPhone, I know, and so you know how they'll pop up at the top there?
Yeah.
And even on a Google phone, it'll do that too. If you clear those notifications, it doesn't get rid of them, it just stops them from being right in front of you. And you can actually decide a bunch of different ways of what's in there. So. Yeah. Cool. well, let's move on to the App Store. Does anyone use the App Store? Or has anyone been in the App Store before? A couple people, one or two maybe? Awesome, cool. So the App Store is actually really neat. There's a lot of really great stuff in there. I mean, literally, you can pretty much find anything in the App Store. So if you are looking for, they kind of put up stuff here that is suggested to you, and I played some games, so it's going to be a lot of game stuff on here. But you can click on like apps at the top here, and we'll just find something and see if we can download it. I don't know if we'll be able to or not, but we'll try. So they have like a top app section, and we can go to top free. So we're going to find all the free apps. So for example, let's find, well, here we go. Oh, I already have Facebook on here. But let's say we wanted to put the Facebook application. So instead of, oh, I deleted it, yay. So instead of going to www.facebook.com all the time, you could actually download a Facebook app that Facebook has produced and put in the store. So what you would do is you would either like search for Facebook, or you could just go down the free list and just see what's free and available. And then you would just really hit install here. Now, if it depends on how your computer's set up, it might ask you to log in. In that case, you'll have to use a Microsoft account, which most of you probably have, and you may not even realize it if you don't. So you probably have one. If you don't, though, it'll ask you and it'll prompt you to create one, and then from there you can pretty much do whatever the heck you want. But once you're logged in, it will download, which it's doing kind of slowly right now because we're on the public Wi-Fi.
While that's downloading, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
One of the apps that I saw just popped up there, Cody,
Yeah.
and that's part of that whole M8S boxes that are out there. That I guess it does all the free streaming.
Oh, cool.
Movies, sports,
Nice.
but that should interface with this. Right?
Yeah,
It should interface
assuming-
with the computer.
Yeah, assuming it's in here, then yes, it should. Which I've never used that, but oh, that's not what I wanted. I mean, I'm sure it works fine. So we can go top apps and then go free. So kind of the question or statement was basically there's an app called Kodi. Is that it?
Yes, KODI. It was right.
We can just use the search at the top there, which again is really, really, really good. Which I didn't find it, but oh, maybe I need to go under apps here. Top apps, maybe.
Yeah, it's right there in the middle. Right next to Netflix.
Ah, oh, okay, cool.
It's actually a free streaming service so that you can watch some of the latest movies, sports.
Oh,
Boxes, like 50 or 60.
cool.
One down in Florida.
That's what they
It's
use.
all legal.
Huh. Well, I've never used it. I had no idea. So there you go, Kodi. Tip of the day. I like it. All right. That's good. So let's see if Facebook is done yet. Nah, it's still taking a minute. Okay, well, while Facebook is down, we'll kind of move on. But essentially, once this is done downloading, which we'll look at, you can actually add it to your bar here, the start menu. And so instead of going to Facebook.com every time, you just click on the Facebook app, and then it'll pull up all of your Facebook information. Really cool. And we'll look at that once that's done downloading. And obviously, on the store, it's called the store for a reason. They do sell different apps. You don't have to use paid-for versions. So a lot of times there's a free equivalent or a free version of everything in there. Kind of something that I like, using is the Facebook one is useful. The Netflix one could be useful if you watch a lot of movies in your laptop or on your computer. All the social networks, Instagram, they all have them too. LinkedIn does. There's some really good news apps also that will kind of curate all the news for you based upon what you like to read. The one that I like is called Flipboard, I think. Yeah, Flipboard right here. My last class, I deleted them all so you can re-download them now, but apparently the Wi-Fi is a little slow. No, that one's already on my computer, yay. Oh, never mind, no it's not. So we can just hit get, and then again, that's going to start downloading it, and it's just going to pull in there, so. I mean, and there's like certain stuff for like the Wall Street Journal or like the New Yorker. I mean, all the different news organizations have their own different apps. So if you subscribe to one of those or you get them, you can just log into those. It's really neat. Go, Facebook, go. Go, Facebook, go. All right. Well, that's downloading. So we'll come back to the store just so we can kind of see it. Another really good app would be Gas Buddy. So if a lot of people have that on their phones already, but if you want it on your desktop, you can actually get it. What GasBuddy does, I'm seeing bewilderment now. So what it does is it will basically search all the gas stations in your area, and then it will automatically pull up the cheapest ones and list them, and it will do it based upon the location of your computer. So if you were to pull it up right now, it would basically pull up probably the UDF around the corner, because that's cheaper than anywhere else in Springboro. But it basically gives you the option to search all the gas stations, and then you can actually print off directions if you don't know where they're at. So it's kind of cool. Oh, okay. While we're waiting for that to happen, let's go back to the start menu here. And then another really cool app that a lot of people like, there's always a free one called Maps that's already on your computer. Microsoft provides it for free, so it's kind of the equivalent to like Google Maps or MapQuest or something like that. So we're on Google Maps here. And it's probably going to be pretty slow, but it kind of just looks like a map here. I mean, nothing crazy, but you can do a whole lot of different stuff. But if you're just looking for directions, so let's say, let's go to, so I'm going to search from my house to here to see if it pulls it up. It should, but the Wi-Fi is a little sketchy here, so it may or may not work. I didn't like that. It's just called Maps. Yeah, just straight up Maps. Okay, yeah, it doesn't like it right now, for whatever reason.
Print out like MapQuest does.
Yeah, it totally will. Yeah, in fact, there's actually, you can like draw on it. If I click the right button, you can draw on it. You can do directions, and then there's actually 3 little bars. Once it pulls up the directions, it won't pull up right now because of the internet, but you click on the 3 little dots right there, and then there's a print button right there. So you can print off a map, you can print off directions, everything. It's really useful, actually. So again, it would kind of save you time from instead of going on the internet and going to MapQuest or something, you can just use that. And it's just built into your computer. So it's going to run a little faster, a little smoother. No ads, which is awesome. Cool. Oh, and just so you guys know, to close out of any of these apps or anything, there's always, always, always going to be your X at the corner up there, and then you're minimizing kind of your manipulated screen there. So, and it looks like Facebook just got done. I saw a little notification. So, just to kind of put it, to kind of bring it full circle here, on your notification or charms bar over here, it says Facebook, check it out, it just got installed, and then Flipboard just got installed also. So it's always going to kind of tell you what's been going on the computer. So now to get to Facebook, I'm just going to go to my start button here, and I'm going to type in Facebook. And then what I'm going to do, because I use Facebook a lot, so I'm going to pin that to my start menu, which will then put it right there. So then it's going to be on there, so I can just click on it, and it's probably going to ask me to log in. Yeah. So then once you log in from there, then you'll have your full Facebook feed. And within there, it looks a little less chaotic than the website sometimes because they organize the actual app a little bit better. So
Does that stay logged in then?
yeah, it stays logged in. And if you had multiple accounts on your computer, each person could log into their own Facebook account. So. Yeah. Yeah, Flipboard. To be honest with you, I don't use that much Flipboard. Oh, okay. The clipboard is going to be like for copy and pasting. That's going to be. Flipboard is actually for news and stuff like that, which I'll show you. It's actually kind of cool. Oh, and the other cool thing about the search is you don't have to type in the whole word, and it'll automatically start searching. So I just typed in the word flip, and then, there we go. We'll let that do its thing here. And it's a personalized magazine is what they call it, so I use it on my phone a lot, just when I'm like sitting on the couch reading the news or stuff, but or different articles. You can set up different categories. It's kind of cool. I like to follow all the technology and the business type stuff, so. But it'll pull up like a generic one with just kind of a little bit of everything. It's kind of neat. So then you select your different categories and I don't know, whatever. Next. You can log into Facebook so you can share stuff from there if you want to. Yeah. Okay, we'll hit next there. And then, yeah, apparently it forces you to log in so then it can share, but you'll be all good there. So, cool. But the App Store is actually really, really nice. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And a lot of banks will have different apps in there too. I mean, literally anything. You could search for Huntington Bank, and I'm sure they have an app in the App Store, so you should be fine there. So, cool. So this blue screen here, that's like the default screen that comes with Windows 10. So you actually can pretty much make it look like whatever you want. So we're just going to go through some of the customization there. You can put like pictures or whatever you want on there, because a lot of people like to do that. So the easiest way to get to it is if you click on the notifications or charm bar here, and then go to All Settings. And then from there, you're going to see a Personalize button right here. So the Personalize, it's really cool. And that's going to open up a whole other screen where you can do anything. I feel like we have 12 million people watching. So right here, if you had pictures on your computer, you can hit Browse, and you can actually click on any picture on your computer, and it'll automatically put it back there, which is really nice. Another thing you can do is Windows comes with these like default little themes, which it takes a second for it to load on mine. There we go. No, that didn't change it. Now it's trying. Which, whenever you change a theme, it does a lot of different settings. Your computer will be faster than this one. It's just the way mine is configured. It's a little different, but so there. Now it's changed this like space background with the nice tint there, and you're actually going to notice there's an airport right on the other side here, in case you didn't know. So you see how there's like these green highlights here? You're going to notice it's actually going to change, which it didn't do yet. Normally, what it does is it kind of draws a complementary color to that picture, and then what it'll do is it'll kind of change the look of everything, which for some reason it didn't do that yet. I don't know why. Yeah, not doing it. Let's try that one. Maybe that one's still too dark. Give it a second to think. So on this computer specifically, it's actually a MacBook, so an Apple computer, but I'm running Windows 10 on it, so it doesn't run as well as it would on like a normal computer. So that's why I got to kind of fight with some of the delays a little bit. There we go. Now it's thinking. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's still not a good example. Needless to say, most of the time what it will do is the pictures I keep using are all pretty much the same colors, but it will change kind of the blues in here might turn red or green or something like that. It'll automatically change all of those tiles to kind of match your screen. It's really neat looking, but just be careful that you don't do anything like too crazy, because then it might. It does a pretty good job, but sometimes you can get like this like blinding yellow that you can't read and stuff. So you might just have to change your picture, and then it'll automatically change the colors to that stuff. The other thing you can do is, let's go over here to colors. Get back in there. You got freaked it out. There we go. Okay. Oh, because I had my colors set statically. Normally it will change automatically with you, but I picked a color, so now it's going to be bright orange. That's what I did. You can change it to green. Change it to a reddish pink for Valentine's Day. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. Or you can go gray if you want to, if you're not feeling too happy. Or green if you just won $1 million. I don't know. You can do whatever you want in there. It's kind of cool. So you can change all those. Then you can actually change the lock screen, which the lock screen is what shows up when you... This is promptly right where I forgot my Microsoft password last time. So this is the lock screen right here when you first turn on your computer. And essentially you can change the colors and pictures of that too. So when your computer's just sitting there, you could have it like cycle through a slideshow of pictures of your family. You could show a nice vacation. You can show some nice rocks that Microsoft provides. I don't know. Yesterday, there was a sloth on my desktop. It's kind of cool looking. Can't go wrong with a sloth. So now I gotta figure out if I know my password, which I don't think that's it. Yep, that wasn't it. There we go. Okay. Phew. All right. So you can do all sorts of fun stuff there. And then the themes, those are going to be default themes by Microsoft. I don't have any on mine currently, but you can go into the themes and you can actually download different themes from there. The start menu, you can kind of customize different options within that. essentially you can just read them and kind of figure out. But one of them is like show more tiles, so you can make it like bigger. So now it expands out there to the side. You can occasionally show suggestions, so it might look at what you've been doing, and then it will determine, hey, you might like this. So it will kind of pull up different suggestions. Recently used apps. I generally keep that on. You're going to see right up at the top there. It's going to show, I just cleared it out. Okay, recently used, so then it's going to show those right there. What else is kind of useful? Those are really the big ones there. And then the taskbar, which again is this bar right down here. You have a bunch of different options within there, and you can play with those. You really can't hurt anything. The worst you might do is forget how to use back. Yes? The lock screen? Oh, how do you do it? Oh, okay. So the lock screen is only going to show up in two ways. So if you were to manually go to it, so you can go here, you click on your start button, click on, there's a little person in the corner there, or like a little icon. And then if you click there, it's going to ask you to log out or lock, or if you have multiple accounts, you can switch between the accounts and that'll pull up that lock screen. Now that's really only useful if you have a password. If you don't have a password on your computer, or it automatically logs in, you're not really going to see the lock screen. A lot of people do that, and when we even set computers up, most of the time people don't want a password, so you're not going to see that lock screen. But if you and someone else are sharing a computer, then that screen will show up first. Does that answer your question? Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. What time is it? Oh, 10:40. Cool. We're like right on time. Yay. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go into some different features that I find really, really cool with Windows 10. That are really good for when you're like researching or you're at Facebook and you want to look at something else. So let's just pull up. We're going to pull up a couple different windows here. Let me minimize him. Let me open up this little document. I'm just going to open up a bunch of stuff and then I'll show you what I'm doing here. Okay. And then sure, we'll open up that. Okay, cool. So a lot of times when people are using their computers, you're going to have like a lot of stuff open. So a lot of different programs. So right now I have like Microsoft Edge, which let's pull up to, sure, we'll go to this one. We'll go to this website here. And then let's say I was looking at some different pictures in here, which I don't have any pictures, but yeah, not a good example. Let's go to download, sure. So we're looking at the downloads, and then I was in Google Chrome looking at my website, and then I was over here, and then I was looking at some stock charts for something here. So what you can do is you can actually pull up like a lot of that stuff all at once. So it's actually really neat. So I'm just going to take this little, we'll pull up my website here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mouse, I'm going to click at the top there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it and grab it, and I'm going to throw it to the side. So I'm going to grab it here, I'm going to take it and walk it over here, and then you're going to notice how there's like an outline of a window. Now you can do that on either side of the screen, or you can do it from the top. So see how that little, there's like a frame now right there. So what that's basically suggesting is that you can snap it to the side. So I'm going to snap that over there, and it's going to pull up this other screen with other stuff that I have open. And then I can click on here, this little, just a little test document. So then I could type all my stuff in here. If I was like reading something over here, let's just go to Angie's List, for example. I could maybe be typing, I could be reading on one side and typing on the other, or I could have my directions to where I'm going on this side, and then I could have like things to do on this side. You can really do it with any application. So again, just to kind of show you that feature. Yeah, I'll do it again here. Yeah, so a split screen. So here's a stock chart. So I could pull up that and I could drag it, and I could throw it to the side here, and then I could go over here and I could, I don't know, I'm looking at Disney stock for whatever reason, so I could go Disney, news or whatever, and then you can look at, all the different stuff for Disney going on here. So I could basically do multiple things at once here, which would be useful. Or you could have like, you could have like your bank open here, and you could have your credit card statement open over there. So you can kind of like compare and contrast and stuff like that. It's really useful. I use it literally every single day I'm on my computer. And then let's just say, if you want to make, so see how this is small right now? If you want to make it a full screen, you really have two options. Three options. You can double click it. That will make it a full screen. So again, you can double click and that will kind of toggle between those. You can click the button over here, right next to the X, which is going to, again, make it a full screen. So you can do that. Or you can take it, if you're kind of a mouse or you got your finger on the screen, you can actually just drag it to the top, and it'll automatically blow it up to that big screen there, which is always useful. So any questions kind of on the snapping and rearranging and stuff? Go and play with it. It's really neat. Yeah, it's cool. Let's see here. And I only have about a couple more little things, and then we can kind of open up the questions if you guys have anything. Or we can kind of look at people's computers or that type of thing. Another question I get all the time with Windows 10 is how do you turn it off? Because a lot of people either don't turn off the computer or don't know how, or just have never done it before. So you have a couple of options. You never want to just like hold the power button. That's like the worst thing you can do to a computer. So you always want to shut it down safely. So you can click on your start button here. Microsoft made it really good in Windows 10. They actually have like a power-looking button like you would see on any computer. So there's a power button right there in the corner. And if you click that, you're going to have the sleep option. And again, this varies depending on what kind of computer it is and how it's set up. But I have sleep, shutdown, and restart. So shutdown is going to just power it off and not turn back on. A restart is going to turn it off and then automatically turn it back on just to kind of help clean stuff out there. I'm trying to think what else there is on that. That's the best way to do it. Another option you could do is if you do Control-Alt-Delete, which I have to do a little differently, but so you can hit Control-Alt-Delete on your keyboard. That will bring you to this screen right here. And on here, you then have your power button in the corner, way down here. Again, if you have a touch screen, you might use your computer a little differently than you do like a laptop versus a desktop. So, yeah. So that's again going to give you the options of what do you want to do. And then the other thing that people find quite useful is the task manager. So everyone knows Control-Alt-Delete, right? Y'all kind of know about that. So if you want to get to the task manager, you hit Control-Alt-Delete, select task manager in the middle, and then it's going to pull you up with this screen right here. So it's going to list everything you have open. Now it's going to be a very simplified view to start. So you're going to have just this. So I have Notepad open, so I'm just going to close all that. Or I can't even see what that says. Yeah, that's stuff I want to keep open. I don't want to close it that way. But if you want to pull up like a bigger view of different things that are kind of running in the computer, you can hit more. I think it was more info, or more details, sorry. More details right here. And that will pull up literally everything on the computer that's running. Now you don't just want to go willy-nilly and close stuff in here because you'll break stuff. But sometimes there might be a need to where maybe you're troubleshooting something with someone over the phone, or we need you to do something. We might have you go in there and end something. Essentially, though, you have a lot of different diagnostic-y type stuff. You can look at how heavy the computer's, having to do all its stuff. You can look at how much memory is being used. You can do a lot of stuff on here. You can actually disable stuff from turning on with the computer. So if you notice your computer might be a little bit slow, you can go to the little startup tab over here. And within the startup tab, it's going to list everything that turns on with the computer, which I don't really want to disable anything right now because I like it all, but you could essentially, let's say I don't want QuickBooks to turn on, you can just right-click on it and hit disable. So then QuickBooks won't turn on with the computer, so then you would have to manually run it. Or let's say CCleaner, which is an app that I think everyone's computer probably has from us. Let's say you didn't want it to run with the computer, you could disable that. So again, I want it to. So you can look at, as long as you're not like willy-nilly in there, you should be fine. So I just like to show people that because it is different than previous versions of Windows.
David,
Yes.
wasn't the CCleaner supposed to be running all the time?
Is what? Sorry. CCleaner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be, but like let's say for some reason you just want to stop it, you can do that. Yeah, normally you just leave it running now. Yep. Well. Oh, does anyone use OneDrive or anyone use it or heard of it or heard of it, never used it? Okay. You got a question?
Yeah,
No. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So OneDrive is kind of the equivalent. Have you guys ever heard of Dropbox?
Yes.
That's very popular. A lot of people have used that. So Dropbox or OneDrive, they allow you to synchronize files between multiple computers, and it can be useful. So like let's say you have a desktop and a laptop, you could use a free OneDrive account to synchronize your files between those computers. Now it's not perfect. It doesn't always work as you would think it would. Obviously Microsoft, it's a bunch of geeks there doing the programming, so they they're still kind of working out the bugs and stuff like that, but essentially it's still a work in progress, I guess you could say. But it's really neat. So basically, you create a document and you put it in OneDrive folder, and then it'll automatically synchronize to your other computers and stuff like that. A lot of businesses are using it, so if you're still working, they might be using OneDrive to kind of keep track of their documents and stuff like that. It's built in with every computer. If you have Microsoft Office, it'll fully integrate with there, so Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, which I don't have on this Windows part of my computer. So that kind of concludes the formal part of my presentation. Any questions or anything? Yes.
Now, you brought me Surface.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Now, one of the things in here, I want to know how secure it is. The log line, you talked about passwords and stuff before, and the new computer, you've got the multiple cameras up there.
Yeah.
So that you sit down in front of it
Use your face.
and it uses your face or it's your retinal.
Yeah.
How secure is that?
So they have been hacked. I mean, even like the fingerprint reader on an iPhone or on your Google phone, I mean, they're hackable. And the facial recognition stuff, I haven't seen a specific situation where it has been maliciously used to get into someone's computer. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, just like anything, I don't know. I mean, my mom uses her face for her computer. I mean, it doesn't recognize me. It doesn't, I know. We even tried putting like a picture of her up to it. It didn't work, because I was curious. It didn't work. I guess it notices that it's just sitting there, whereas a human face is flexible and moves. So, I don't know. Anything can be hacked if someone wants to enough. I mean, take that with a grain of salt, but it's better. It's not going to, that'll prevent me from going into your computer. Or like that'll prevent just some random person from picking up your computer and walking away with it, to get your stuff. So it's always good to have a password, but it's not, if it's just like a desktop at home, I wouldn't stress too much over it. It's just not necessary if you don't want to. So.
How do you remember all your passwords?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. So the question was, how do I remember all my passwords? So a couple different ways that I've seen. I see people who still use like the little like Rolodex type things, and they're alphabetized, and then they have like a password for Facebook, so it'd be an S section or LinkedIn or whatever. They do that, which is perfectly fine. The only bad thing is it's not with you if like you're out of the house, so that might be a problem. I see people who will go on their phones and they just like save a file, like a note. Now the problem with that is it's not secured, so I could get your phone and I get to look at all your passwords. That's okay, I guess. So that's a very low-level way to do it. Another way is I use an app called 1Password, so number 1 and then password, and they have a desktop version also. So I'll actually show you that really quickly. And then they have a phone version too. So I have 300 different logins on my phone that are saved, and it synchronizes between my phone and my computer. So let me show you on here, just so you can kind of get a feel for how that works. So let's say, let me go over to, okay. So I'm going to go to, this is just going to be a website, doesn't really matter what it is, but so Weebly.com is what I use to edit my website. So I honestly don't know what my password is for this website anymore because I wrote it so long ago or I've changed it. So what I do is I would click on, it has like a Google Chrome extension which kind of plugs into Google Chrome or whatever web browser you're using. And I go to the website, I hit log on. Like I said, I don't know my password. So then it's going to ask for my master password, which is a little more secure than like my general password. That's not even it. No, that's not it. It's so secure, I don't know what it is. There we go, okay, phew. All right, so then this will basically pull up a screen where it's going to say, what account do you want to use? Now, I do a bunch of different websites for people, so I have like a bunch of different accounts in there. But let's just, this normal Weebly one right here. So I would click on that, then it's going to automatically fill it in, and that's the one that I didn't get correctly. We'll log in as another business that I'm associated with is in Springboro, but we'll log into there. So it'll automatically type it in and fill it in for us. Like I said, I have no idea what that password is. I could look at it if I want to, but then it will automatically log me into that website. Another cool thing you could do is you could click on the app, and you could just type in like Facebook, and then there's my Facebook email, and then if I could hit reveal, and it'll show my password, or I could hit copy, and then that will put it like, so then I can paste it into the password field. But it's 1Password. They have a lot of videos on how to use it. It's really useful. I think it's You can use a free version. The free version doesn't allow you to synchronize. The paid-for version will allow that. I think it's like $30 a year.
So,
I think it's like $30 a year. They just changed their pricing scheme. I'm not 100% sure, but it's somewhere around there.
so the free version would not allow me to use, I've got that on my phone.
Okay, yeah.
But
It would not
allow me to
synchronize
sync
to your-
it to my desktop.
Correct. And like, it's really inexpensive. And you can even pay like a monthly thing. It's like $2 a month or something, and that will do it for you. I think that's what they just changed to. I mean, like when I mean just changed, like it was like 2 weeks ago, so very, very recently. So they have like a family version that you can get. That's $4 a month for a 5-people computer. You could do, if you're a business, you could use this for businesses. Oh, here we go. Let's just go to normal pricing. They'll kind of go over there, and then they have a free version, like I said. This is the one I recommend. There's actually like, I don't know, 30 or 40 good ones out there. I like this one because they don't keep your data. So if they get hacked, they're not going to be able to access my stuff. Whereas some of the other ones, they actually keep the data on their servers. So if their servers got hacked or whatever, if a hacker really wanted to, they could probably figure out your stuff too. So they could kind of weasel their way in. I mean, I keep like even like my credit card numbers and stuff on there. I keep my social security numbers. I hate it when I go to the doctor and I don't know Alicia's social security number and like I need it for something, or the insurance is through her or something like that. I keep all my bank accounts information here. I kind of trust it significantly. So Dropbox allows you. So in this case, they're just showing that it's an account, but Dropbox allows you to synchronize files between different computers. So you would basically, let's just say like I wanted this. So these are 2 computers. So if I put it over here, it would replicate over there. So it's in both places. Any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was with the last class, and I watched on video, and you said that you don't shut down your computer, but once a week, that you go into sleep mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, okay. So the question was shutting down your computer versus leaving it on all the time, that type of thing. So Windows, it doesn't hurt your computer to leave it on all the time. It used to be back in like the early 90s and 80s, which I wasn't even on a computer at that point in the 80s, but the computers needed to physically be like completely powered down and turned back on because it was a lot older technology. Whereas now with the newer technology, it doesn't have to be shut down or restarted all the time. I still shut down my computer, I would say once every couple weeks. So I completely turn it off and completely turn it on. I restart it, like in the morning, sometimes I'll walk up and I just notice it's running a little bit sluggish, which happens to me too. So what I do is I just go to start and then I just hit restart. I walk away, go do something, I come back and it's ready for me again. But it's kind of a great debate. Just kind of use it how you see fit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt the computer to leave it on all the time. It doesn't hurt the computer to turn it off often. You can do whatever you want. And some people, like their computer, it might be a little bit older, so it might take a while to turn on. So they might just leave it on all the time, which is perfectly fine. Really, the only thing you're going to run into is if like the power goes out, which obviously you have no control over anyways. It just shuts down the computer immediately. So that could affect it potentially, but it's not. I mean, unless you live in like a really weird area. Or I have a business who they live in their office. They have power, like the power goes out like 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. Not good for their equipment. And so we bought battery backups for everything, but essentially at night time they definitely shut down their computers because they don't want to have that stress on their computer. It's really up to you though, it doesn't matter. It used to matter.
Photos on Microsoft 10.
Yeah.
I have put them all on there, all the photos are on there, I've categorized them
Awesome.
year, and the folders for
Yeah.
the year. Now I'm going to take it from that and put it on my hard drive.
Okay.
What is my quickest way of doing that? Can I do it by year or do I have to write folder?
So the question was kind of rearranging photos and stuff like that. So on the external hard drive, where you want to put it?
External.
Okay, so you want to make a copy, like a duplicate?
Yes, and I've got, like I said, a bunch of folders,
Okay.
photos, by vacation,
Yeah, your vacation stuff.
and then you put it
Yeah.
in here, and then
What's the purpose for putting on the external drive? Just a backup?
back up.
If you want to do a backup, this is good information. So the best way to do a backup, because if you were to manually copy and paste them, the problem is every single time you make a change, that will not be synchronized. So if you want to do a backup of something, the best way to do that is if you just go start here and just type in backup. Microsoft's going to have two different options. The one that is mostly used now, well, I'll just kind of show you here. So this one says Windows 7 backup. Obviously, you're not on Windows 7, we're on Windows 10, so we don't want to use that one. So we can just go to backup settings, and that's going to give you the option of using something called file history. And so what file history does is it will basically take a snapshot of your whole computer and all the files you use, and every time you change that, it'll automatically put a copy of it on the backup drive. So
I only want photos on this.
you only want photos?
Yeah, I've got a backup for a whole computer.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
want
yeah.
Just photos.
Just photos, and maybe a manual copy and paste would do.
So no problem.
Yeah, so what you would do is you would go into your Photos folder, Pictures. You can just select the main folder, or you can do it by year, or whatever you want.
Okay, if I put the year folder, that will take all the folders in it.
Yes, correct, yeah.
So that I can, okay, that
Yeah.
would be a lot quicker.
Yeah, and so if you want to copy and paste a folder or move it, you can just right-click on it, go to Copy, and I'm just going to put a copy on my desktop here. And then you would right-click it and then paste. So, oh, this is actually a really good use where you could, let me show you. So let me just plug in my flash drive, that's what I was reaching for. You guys all have flash drives on your keychain, right? No, all right. So this would be a perfect example of where you would want to use a split screen. So I have my pictures open here, and I can open up my other one right here, and now I have my computer there and then my flash drive right here. So you just drag them and drop them. Well, you want, actually, don't drag and drop, you want to copy and paste them.
Copy.
Because if you drag them, they're going to leave the computer.
Also,
You don't-
copy and paste by year, that's a whole lot.
Exactly, bingo, yep.